Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTurn with Candace Cordelia. I am your host, Candace Cordelia, and today for Mission Pro Week, we are kicking things off with a very special guest. Her name is Kayla Sparks, also known as the Spice Ranger. Besides seeing her do her thing in the ring at Mission Pro, you may have also checked her out on All Elite Wrestling, CCW, and many of the other amazing promotions that she has been grateful to work for. But today we're going to get in with her work at Mission Pro and also talk to her about her side hustle as a television producer. So first and foremost, Kayla, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Candace. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well. Thank you for being here. And, this is a very special time. We are leading up to the December 11th Mission Pro Wrestling show. It is the last Mission Pro show for the year, but not forever. The promotion has been going strong since its inception in 2019. And you are one of the lucky wrestlers to be a part of this amazing promotion. But before we get into Mission Pro, I do want to ask you, what is your earliest memory as a wrestling fan?
Oh my gosh. Since I was 3 years old, actually, there's those home videos back when we had VHS tapes. And for my third birthday, I got a Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Like, remember those TV trays? And I just remember, like, it's super cute. Like, I was like pointing at the pictures of them, like, that's Hogan and that's Warrior. So like that was my earliest memory, is just like sitting on my dad's recliner watching wrestling on Saturday morning. That was my earliest memory. But I've always been a huge fan of wrestling since I can remember. So
oh, that's great. So was your dad also a fan of wrestling, or any other family members?
Yeah, we actually watched it together, like as a family. We all watched wrestling, and but when it came, like, later on in my story, like when it came to me actually being a pro wrestler, like my parents were really against it. So
yeah. So let's get right into that, because I understand that your journey is adapted. It has been adapted to television, and we'll definitely talk about that as well, which is super exciting, a major big deal. But, talking or getting into your journey as a pro wrestler, what did your family first think when you told them, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
They were really against it because, they don't want to see, their daughter, getting hurt in the ring. And that was like a big thing, but they knew how important it was for me. And actually, I started wrestling when I was 13 years old, which is just crazy to think about because that's super young. But there was a pro wrestling school that was local in Schenectady, New York, and it was called 24/7 Wrestling. And they actually had like a kid, teenager program going on. And it was super safe. Like everything there, they had it all set up for like parents to go if they wanted to watch. There was other kids, like teenagers there. So it was nice. It was like our own little like family. So they treated everyone like your family, which is great. That's how it should be. But yeah, they were really against it at first, and just my mom was more supportive than my dad. Like my dad was super against it. Like he didn't go to any of my shows or anything. So, but I worked, part-time at the mall just so I could like afford like gas and tolls and everything for like to go to all these wrestling shows, because I got to actually travel and have the opportunity to go wrestle at shows around the Northeast. So, and I didn't have a car at the time because I was underage. So like my mom would drive and we would have like road trips and stuff. So that was fun.
Wow. Did you find yourself in situations where you were the only girl? I mean, at this camp, how many girls were you the only girl at this camp, or were there other?
I was the only girl. I was the only female there, which, you know what? It was scary at first, but then I kind of like, I got my inner China vibes because I'm a huge fan of like China. So I was like, what would she do? Because she was like such an inspiration for me growing up, like, because she wrestled the guys and the girls, and she was just like so amazing. And I actually got to meet her, which was one of my favorite moments, because she was just so sweet. And I'm really sad that, like she passed away. So like, that's one of the things like that, sorry to like fast forward, but like, since I came back, I actually reached out. It's really sad. Like I reached out to her like a couple of days before she passed away, just to tell her like how much she was an inspiration for me. And like, So that was really upsetting, like to know that, you know, you never know, like something could happen tomorrow, and like to tell your heroes or like people you grew up by, like that were your inspirations, like to tell them, you know, today, and like, you know, but yeah.
Wow. And not many people can say that they've met China. So
I know.
described that had to have been such a heady experience. What was she
Yeah.
like in person?
She was, oh my God, she was so sweet. Like I just remember her being super like kind and nice. And like I was so nervous. I had like my, you know, I was like 12 at the time. So like I was just like I gave her this doll thing. It was like really corny, like really cheesy. I'm like, I don't know what to give. So like it was, she actually made it funny. It looked like it was like a voodoo doll or something, but I tried to make it look like it was her. And I put like, I don't know, electrical, it was like a last minute thing. I put like electrical tape for like her gear or something. And she made a joke and was like, oh, you know what? I should try that in the ring, like as her gear, like to be funny. Like it was just funny. She was just super nice. Like, so that's what always like stuck with me, is that she was just so nice to her fans. And like, that's how it should be, you know, like, cause we're all fans at the end of the day. So like,
Mhm.
it's nice to see that, you know, people are kind of nice.
Wow, that is amazing. And it sounds like you had a pretty good introduction into the business, particularly at that young age. What did your friends think about you getting into wrestling, going to school and being like, I'm training to be a pro wrestler?
Yeah, they thought it was cool actually. Like everyone like in my school was like, you know, that's awesome. But then, you know, a lot of the kids were like, I got bullied a lot actually in school for, you know, being different, and just like there wasn't a lot of wrestling fans in my school. So like back then it was like, nowadays it's different, but back then it was just like, it was, people made fun of me because the way I dressed, like because I was like a tomboy, and I had like I would always wear like wrestling shirts and baggy clothes and stuff. And like I just remember the kids were really mean and stuff. And I remember some of the teachers were actually really mean, because we actually had like an essay we had to do, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you know, I wrote this essay in 8th grade, like, I want to be a professional wrestler. And like, this was before I started training. And I just remember the teachers were really mean about it, like, oh, you know, that's fake, or like, why do you want to do that? Or you want to like do something else, you know? And I was like, no, this is what I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. And you
Mhm.
know, like I just remember my one friend Christina, she just stood up in class, and she's like, you know, it's not right that you know, you make fun of her about her dreams. Like, you know, it's just like anything. It's like being an actor, like, you know, it's you're out there performing, but you actually can get hurt and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So yeah, that's yeah, my friends are really supportive though of it. So that was nice. They used to come to my local shows when I had them, and so that was fun.
What do you think your teachers would say now that you've had the success that you're currently experiencing in wrestling?
Oh my gosh. I guess a lot of them, like, you know, they were like, Dad, you know, it's stupid, it's fake, whatever. So I'm sure they're like, they probably saw me, like, they'll see me on TV, be like, oh yeah, I guess we were wrong, you know, to tell her she couldn't do it, you know. But there was actually some teachers that were really nice. I remember that, you know, really supported me. So that was nice. It's always good to have that support system when you're at that age, you know, and you're still growing, and you have like good mentors and stuff like that to like push you and stuff. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. What was the show where everything clicked for you and you thought, okay, this is actually happening. I'm living out my dream as a pro wrestler?
oh my gosh, my first match actually, that was back in September, you know, 21st, 2002 was my first match. And I remember it was a lumberjack match, and it was really special to me because like all the guys that were there at the show, they all surrounded the ring. So I felt like it was like everybody was there like cheering me on. And that was one of my like favorite moments, like just having my first match. That's like any, you know, for any wrestler, like they'll never forget their first match.
That's lovely. And now here you are, fast forward to your work on television with All Elite Wrestling and Dark Elevation, and then other promotions like CCW, which I mentioned earlier. But particularly with Mission Pro Wrestling, we have to give the promotion and Thunder Rosa and everyone involved their flowers, because what
Yeah.
we are witnessing in real time is truly a revolution, I believe, in women's
Mhm.
wrestling and in the wrestling industry itself. So, my
Yeah.
first Mission Pro related question for you, Kayla, is what was your first impression when you got to Texas? You had your first show at Mission Pro and you met Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like I have nothing but awesome, great things to say about Thunder Rosa and Brian and Melanie and the whole crew at Mission Pro. Like they're amazing there. Like they're just, they're just such good people, and they really care about like all the women that like work hard and like want to chase their dreams, and they're giving them this, this platform that a lot of places aren't giving. But they're just amazing. I have nothing but awesome things to say about them. And like when I went to Texas, I was just like in awe. I was just like, I can't believe, I was so happy to be there. And like the locker room, like all the girls there were like really supportive of each other, and they, it's different there. It's like a different vibe, and like everyone supports each other, and that's how it should be. Like, but yeah, like Thunder Rosa, I actually didn't get to meet her there. I think she had an AEW appearance that day, but I got to meet her in the ring at AEW at the Grand Slam in front of 20,000 people, and I got to wrestle her. So that's how we actually met. But like, it's just crazy. Like this whole story is just amazing. Like I can't believe all these opportunities. I'm so thankful for Brian and Thunder Rosa, because they both really they really made my dreams come true. And I'm so thankful. Like I just can't believe all this stuff is happening.
Yes. And I mean, Grand Slam, I remember watching it and seeing, I mean, when Thunder gets out on the platform, the pop for Thunder at an All Elite Wrestling show it's just insane. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
What was that exact moment like, seeing her come out, being in the ring with her, wrestling her in front of, as you said, 20,000 fans for such a big promotion on TV? What was that like?
It was surreal. I'm still pinching myself, because it's just like, you can't even put it, like, you can't even describe it in words. Like, I just remember looking at the crowd, just in awe. Like, I can't believe my dream's coming true, and I get to wrestle Thunder Rosa, like the greatest wrestler that's like alive right now. And just like, I just remember the roar from the crowd, and just like getting chills now just thinking about it. Like, it's just an amazing, I'll never forget that experience. Like, you can't beat that. Like, that's just it was amazing. And then to hear the crowd when she came out, I was trying to stop myself from clapping, because I was like such a fan, of her. And like, she's just an inspiration for women and wrestling and just everybody. Like, she really busts her butt, like, to get where she's at, and she cares so much about just everybody in general. Like, she's just one of a kind, and I'm just so thankful, like, that she came in my life, like, when it happened. And yeah, it was, the match was, I mean, she got one over me, but I'll just never forget, like, that whole experience of just being in the ring and being like, it was my first AEW appearance. So meeting everybody backstage, and just like people that I idolized growing up, like Sting, and it was just crazy. Matt Hardy, and I got to meet everybody. It was just, I'll never forget it.
Wow. What's the single most valuable advice that you've received from Thunder so far, not just as a wrestler, but as a human being in this world?
Oh my God. She has like such awesome advice. Like I tell her all the time, like, I'm so appreciative, like, of everything that she says. Like, the one thing that always stuck with me is, she's like, you need to like believe in yourself, because this is your dream. And a lot of the times, like, I've had so many setbacks, because it's been 14 years since I came back in the ring. So, that sits in my mind. And like, I had a previous injury, like a concussion, which forced me to stop at a young age. But I never wanted to stop. So like, I have like, everyone's like human, and we all have doubts in our head, like, can I really do this? And like, but like, she really pushed me. Like, she's one of my biggest inspirations, like, to just keep pushing and keep working hard, and just like, don't give up, and just always believe in yourself. So that always stuck with me with her. Yeah.
And one thing that I have noticed, besides the many times that Thunder Rosa has spoken to the press about Mission Pro Wrestling, one thing that always stuck out to me is the importance, at least in her mind, of knowing the business in terms of financial stability, and making sure that anyone that she's coaching and mentoring understands the importance of being stable financially and really counting your money wisely. What are your thoughts on that, especially having been in this business for as long as you have?
I mean, yeah, it's always important to like always like have a backup plan, because you never know. And it's always important. You're right. That's actually a good point. Luckily, I'm very lucky, blessed that I've had a career outside of pro wrestling, in the past like 14 years. I have a really good, job with the state and a career. I was able to fortunately like purchase my first home when I was really young, like 23, which is a big accomplishment for, being that age. So I'm glad I'm lucky that I have a good career, like a backup plan. So I would always say like, to anybody in the business, like it's always good to have a backup plan and just, just in case.
Absolutely. And there are of course, other promotions catered towards women wrestling across the globe. In your opinion, what makes Mission Pro Wrestling so unique and in the short span of time that it's been around, just super popular among fans?
I just think like it's just such a different vibe. Like, I mean, there's everybody is just so willing to help out, and like everyone is just wants everyone's best interest like at heart, and like just the whole vibe of it is just so caring, and like I love it. Like they treat everyone like your family. Like it's just even like outside, like there's like personal things, like they always like follow up with everybody. Like I know Jasmine that wrestles there, her mom, was having breast cancer, and they raised money for that. So that was really nice. They really care about like everybody, like as individuals, like not just as wrestlers. So like I think that's what really like sets them apart, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. Like I'm so happy that I get to be a part of Mission Pro, and I love everyone there. They're great. They're like awesome people. So
That's amazing. So what can you tell us about December 11th? This is going to be the final show for Mission Pro of the year. We can expect to see, of course, surprises. I'm just curious to know what is happening, what's going to go on, without spoiling us, of course. If there's anything you can tell us, look out for it.
I mean, I know it just as much as you do. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who I'm facing yet, but I'm sure whoever I'm facing, it's going to be a great match. Like I'm super excited. I'm super pumped about the show, and it's nice that they're doing another benefit show for Salvation Army for San Antonio. So that's nice. It's really special that they do that to give back to the community, which is super important. So I'm glad that I get to be a part of that and hopefully raise money for them. So yeah, I'm super pumped. It's already coming up next month. So
exactly. Time flies, right? And you've done it, seriously, and you and Mission Pro have done so much within a really tough time with the pandemic, for one. And just in this year alone, 2021, the amount of the fast speed of success that both the promotion and yourself have achieved, it's just absolutely terrific. So kudos to you, kudos to Mission Pro Wrestling. And everyone just can't wait to see what you and the promotion are going to do next in 2022. What are your hopes for 2022 yourself within Mission Pro and also just within your career in general?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Just keep working hard, keep working, wrestling more shows and matches. And with Mission Pro, like I'm excited to be there any opportunity I get. So, I'm just excited as far as like my career, and just I'm excited like for any opportunity that comes knocking. I just want to like really work hard and train, train more, and just it's an exciting time, to be wrestling right now. So I'm excited.
Yes, and we are excited as well. We're also excited to learn more about Against the Ropes. Now, when I heard about this, I was blown away because wrestling in and of itself is hard as it is, but diving into the world of scripted television is just as hard. So please tell us about this TV series, which I understand is based on your wrestling journey and growing up as a wrestler in a really male-dominated sport as well at such a young age.
Yeah, I mean, it was such an amazing experience. Like, so earlier this year, my friend Shane Alden, he's the owner of New Light Media Films. He approached me and he heard me do another wrestling podcast for Shining Wizards, which that just came out of nowhere. Like they just wanted to do an interview with me, and I wasn't even thinking about like coming back to wrestling or anything like that yet. They just wanted to talk about my career and stuff like that. And then Shane heard that and he's like, "Hey, I've been really wanting to do a TV series about wrestling, but I haven't found the right story." He's like, "Would you be interested?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, that would be awesome." Like, but I'm nobody special. Like what, but he's like, no, really, he's like, but yeah, so I'm really grateful for that he gave me that opportunity, and I got to be, the executive producer for the project, which I've never done anything like that before. So that was really fun, to get to work with everybody and to be a part of the process of like the actors and actresses that were a part of the show, and like working on the script and the TV show. Some things were in there, like, with anything with TV and movies, like some of the stuff is dramatized, and like, but the basis of my story is in there. Like it's based off my story, like growing up. So yeah, it was just a difficult time. Like for me, like I mentioned, like, my parents were, against me wrestling, and that was really a struggle, and being the only girl was a little tough, even though like it was nice that it was like they treated like it was like a family and stuff. But like and then like, the coming out story is in there too, like with how that was really tough, like with my parents not accepting. And so that's all in the TV show. So I hope it inspires, people watching it, maybe that are inspiring to be a pro wrestler at a young age, like that, just, forget all the negativity and just, it's just chase after your dreams and just forget, all the negativity out there and just do what makes you happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
How difficult was it for you to find the perfect actress to play you in this role?
Oh my gosh. So her name's Marissa Roll. She's great. She actually got to work on another project with New Light Media Film. So that's how they found her. But yeah, it's all the actors and actresses there just did such a great job. Like the one that plays Mercedes is Hoops. She was on VH1's Flavor Flav and like all the reality shows. Like she's awesome. Like she did a great job with Mercedes, which is actually based off of my really good friend Mercedes Martinez that I grew up, like we got to wrestle around the same time back then. So she was a big mentor for me. So her character was awesome. Like everybody just did such a great job. Like I have no complaints. Like I can't wait for everyone to see it. Like all the characters, like my trainer, Duke in there. And then he did a great job. And just everybody did such a great job with everybody.
That's really cool. I mean, was there a part in the series that really made you emotional that you weren't even expecting to get emotional watching it play back?
Actually, yeah, there was quite a few scenes. It was mainly like the dinner table scene, which I don't want to give it away, but like, that was like the scene where that was really hard to watch. Like I even said that, like when I was on set, like I just had to like look away sometimes or just like take a breather, take a break, because that's actually stuff that really happened, so it's like it can be sensitive, but that's what actually is like the real raw part of it, because it's something that happened and something like the truth, the truth never lies. So like it's good to have it on the screen, like for everyone to see. And yeah, but that was a hard scene to watch, the dinner table scene with like my parents and stuff like that. But yeah, I got a little bit emotional with it, but I hope that people watching it will just see that, like I was saying, like all the negativity that was in my life and stuff, that that you can aspire and keep going and chase after your dreams no matter what. Oh.
It's very inspirational. What did your parents think about your foray into putting your life story on the TV screens and really just sharing this very vulnerable part of your life to a much wider audience?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that it's hard to talk about, but I mean, it's something that they don't really agree with or that they don't support. But I mean, I always say that it's important, like you make life what it is, like, so it's important to like always be happy and just, I'm thankful that I have like my support system and my friends and family around, so that support me and are pushing me to keep going and stuff. So that's what it's all about. So I'm happy for that.
Right on, right on. And now with having this feather in your cap on your resume, is this something executive producing that you feel you're going to get more into as time goes on? Do you see yourself doing more of it, not just with wrestling, but just in general in the entertainment industry?
Yeah, I mean, that would be exciting. I mean, that if the opportunity's there, I would absolutely 100%. Like this was such a great experience just to be behind the scenes and like working with everybody. I absolutely would love to do it again if the opportunity comes up. So
That sounds fantastic, Kayla. What do your parents think about everything that you're doing now in terms of not just executive producing with television, wrestling, but being able to manage everything in your life because you're juggling a lot of different things at once?
yeah, it's hard. I mean, I just recently didn't like I just, cut off communication with them just because of like they don't accept, me coming out and stuff like that. Because I didn't come out till I was like in my early 20s. So now that I'm, you know, later in life, it was a decision I made just to make, to be happier and stuff. But yeah, it's hard to talk about, but um yeah, just life is too short. So I'm just glad I have a good support system with my friends and family, which, makes me happy. So I mean, it sucks that your parents, you want to have their validation and stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm just thankful that I have like friends and family that support me. So
Well,
yeah.
let's get into how you're an inspiration in the LGBTQIA community.
Aw,
We see everything that you yourself and your peers are doing on social media. We see all of the matches that are happening, all of the success that everyone is experiencing in one fell swoop. And it's very inspiring for a lot of people, particularly in that community, coming up, seeing what you all are doing and saying to themselves, I could perhaps do this too. What are your thoughts on that?
yeah, that's good. I just think it's great that that I hope that I can inspire, like any person out there, whether they're gay, lesbian, bi, transgender, whatever, that there's a place for you no matter what. And especially in wrestling, like you see it more now. There's a lot more wrestlers like coming out, and it's nice to see like the support, which is important. So that's why you know, this is especially important to me because I was like in the closet for so long. So like, and I was ashamed of it, like with my sexuality and stuff. So now it's important for me to like put it out there and like, tell the world like it's okay to be who you are and be happy and, no matter what you are. So yeah, it's important for me. I hope that, with this TV series that people can watch and be inspired to, not give up and just um chase after your dreams no matter what it is.
Mhm. What
Yeah.
other dreams, and I did ask this question prior, but I want to get more specifically into what dreams, or rather, which dream match would you like to be a part of in your career? Is there anyone that you haven't wrestled yet that you would just love to wrestle at some point?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I just I know you put me on the spot. I mean, there's such great talent out there as far as women and um I would be excited no matter what, promotion or anybody really. There's just so much talent out there, especially in AEW and WWE. So, anybody there on the roster would be exciting.
Yes. And we cannot wait to see what happens next with you, Kayla, and your career. Where can we watch Against the Ropes? How can we get down and to the nitty gritty of seeing you, or rather seeing, I don't know if you're going to be starring in it. That happens sometimes. That does.
Yeah. You might see a little cameo with me in there. But yeah, it's gonna be on Amazon Prime and it's gonna be on Hulu and Revry TV. But there's no date yet of when it's gonna come out, but it's gonna be soon. We're just hashing out like the last couple things with it, but it'll be definitely coming soon before the end of the year. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't believe it's gonna be on all the like streaming platforms. That's exciting. It's exciting.
That is huge. Amazon Prime, Hulu. I mean,
Yeah.
this is fantastic. And what I'm personally noticing is seeing more wrestling stories happen on a mainstream level. We're noticing that there's a lot more wrestling that's just happening on streaming platforms. terrestrial TV, film, as you can see the poster in the back of me, Fighting with My Family. More people are getting very fascinated with the world of wrestling. And Heels on Stars, I got to shout that out. I love that show.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that now we're seeing more people who aren't in the business really taking to the story of the behind the scenes of wrestling itself?
I mean, I love it. I'm all for it. So like, it's exciting that, there's more opportunities and more exposure for wrestling, especially behind the scenes. There's so much interest with it, with fans and everything. So even as wrestlers, like, it's nice to see, like, it's like on a, big platform. So it's awesome. I think it's awesome.
I do too. And my last question for you, Kayla, is ahead of this December 11th show with Mission Pro Wrestling, for anyone that is not familiar with Mission Pro itself, in your words, why do you think someone should come out to a Mission Pro show?
I think it's important, independent wrestling to support, any independent wrestling is important, and especially Mission Pro Wrestling. The men and women, they bust their butts to be there, and they work hard, and, they always put on an excellent show. And, it's important to support, wrestling in general. But yeah, it's a great atmosphere there, and everyone will love, everyone that goes to their shows will love it. So
I can't wait to check out a show myself. I'm really looking forward to that day and to also seeing you in the ring. Congratulations. Yeah. And thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on everything that you've accomplished alone in this year. It is just such a fantastic thing to witness, and we wish you the best. And yes, if there's anything you want to plug besides Against the Ropes, your social media, now is the time to do so.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Candace. I know. I'm so excited. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have this opportunity. And thanks to Brian and Thunder Rosa and everybody. You can catch me. My social media is Kayla Sparks 247 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I just wanted to say it's such an honor to be a part of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I grew up, reading the magazines and stuff, and super excited. I was so happy to see the pro wrestling, the women's PWI list that came out, and just want to give a shout out. I just got the edition of Thunder Rosa. That's awesome. I'm so proud of her. She got to be, number 5 on there. So that's great.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm so happy for her, and I'm so happy to be a part of Mission Pro and everything. So yeah.
Oh, you're so welcome, Kayla. Thank you for being a part of my show here with Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And thank you all for watching another episode of FaceTurn with Candace Cordelia. Please stay tuned for more interviews and check out Kayla Sparks doing her thing with Mission Pro Wrestling and all of the other wonderful promotions that she has been able to work for. Check her out on social media, Twitter, Instagram, buy her merch, and just support, please, as we do here at Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.